Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Down to Earth Astronomy. Now, I finally just got my Imperial cutter, and now I just have to figure out what the hell to use it for. Frequent followers of my channel will know that I love mining, and it's something I enjoy doing very, very much in Elite. So, of course, we have to try and set this ship up for mining, and that's what we're going to do today. I already got all the modules that I want, so we're just going to go over the setup that I'm using for the ship. For hardpoints, I have two class 2D mining lasers. Very, very quickly. You can almost run them without draining your weapon's capacity, without them overheating. Not quite, but so you have to cycle through in the middle of the rock to let them cool down. But that's not really where the bottleneck is in your mining speed. I mean, those two lasers they will keep your collector limpets very, very busy. For utilities, I have a chaff launcher and a point defense just in case we get interdicted, which you will, because when you have 500 tons of minerals in your cargo hold, you will have pirates come after you trying to steal your stuff. So definitely good idea to have a little bit of defense. Go to core internals. This is not really that interesting on a mining ship. I gone for a 6A power plant because I wanted as much jump range as possible. So I scaled down the power plant because we just need enough power to run the mining lasers. 8D thrusters and 7A frameshift drive, unless it's class D, simply because jump range. And you can see here that the jump range is actually pretty good. It has a maximum jump range of just over 21 light years, which is not too bad, the ship's size taking into consideration. So let's go to the optional internals. This is where it gets interesting. The two class 8 slots are of course used for cargo racks. That gives us the just over 500 cargo space, which should be more than enough for at least a single trip. I mean, that should give you several hours in a ring before you need to return to station. And I also gone for a single class 6 cargo rack, which gives me a total cargo of, where is it here, the first line, 576 tons. Again, that's a lot for a mining ship, and that's going to take several hours to fill up in a belt. I gone for a 6B shield generator. I ideally wanted a 6A, but I haven't been able to find one yet. I haven't actually looked at this station. No, it doesn't look like there's anything here either. Oh, 6E, 6D, 6C. Oh, there's a 6A here. You know what? Let's buy that. Nice. So, a 6A shield generator. Just because, I mean, if you're bumping into a rock, because this is a fairly large ship, you might have a rock hit you, or if you hit the edge of a station, or just to take the brunt off the attack if you get interdicted. Again, you will be interdicted at some point, so it's nice to have a small shield generator just to take the first initial hits. Then I have no less than 3 Type 5A collector limpet controllers, and each of these give me 3 maximum active limpets, which give me a total of 9 active collector limpets. And that's just to try and keep up with the mining lasers, because they mine so quickly that you really need. I tried with just 6 collector limpets and then an extra cargo rack here, but I spent a lot of time just sitting around waiting for my collectors to get all the fragments. So I decided to upscale, get 9 collectors, which should mean that we should be able to now keep the collectors busy and keep the mining lasers firing. A 4A refinery, that gives us a total of 10 bins. I think if you go into a metallic ring, there are 11 different materials, so you will have to swap sometimes, but most of the times you don't really have to bother. I normally just switch between like indite or gallium or whatever that is of low worth materials. I just vent that if I need an extra bin. Then I have a 3A prospector limpet controller that gives me 2 prospectors. Again, you really only need 1, but I mean, it's the lowest available slot we have, so why not get the extra? And it is, I guess, a luxury to have that extra limpet. That does mean you can prospect that a little bit faster and find that rock a little bit faster. especially if you're shooting at rocks far away. So that's the setup that I'm using. So let's go ahead, let's find a belt and let's see how this ship performs. Okay, I have found a decent rock here, and let's go ahead and see how quickly we can actually mine all these fragments here. You see I have a lot of platinum in this, so this should give in some good profit. Oh, to get a little closer here. Now one thing that I was afraid of was this ship would simply, due to its size, be difficult to maneuver out in the asteroid field like this. But it's really not. It performs very, very well out here. I'm not having any issues with bumping into rocks at all. So that's not a problem, and I am in one of the high density areas of this ring. So where the rocks are closest together, and I don't have any problems navigating out here. So that's not going to be an issue. You can see here, there I ran out of energy for the lasers, and there was around 20% left on the rock. Quickly recharge and get the last fragments out of the rock. Now, as soon as we're done here, I want to highlight something, because if we go into the external camera mode here and move around the ship, the approach corridor for the limpets are very, very, very long. If you notice here, you can see the limpets all the way down there. So they're going down very, very far below the ship before they actually go up towards the cargo hatch. So instead of going straight, you can see they're going like an arc where they fly beneath the ship, and then they go into this approach corridor, and it's very long for the for this ship compared to other ships like an Asp or something like that, where the limpets are more or less flying straight towards the cargo hatch. That of course means that the limpets are a little bit less efficient than they would be on other ships. But then again, we have the utility slots to compensate with just having more collectors. But you can see even with my 9 collectors here, I still have to wait quite a significant amount of time. Now, when I wasn't recording, I of course would be using this time to prospect to find my next rock, so I know where to go. But again, this is something you have to take into consideration, that you do need a lot of limpets. That of course also means when you're flying with more limpets, and because it takes so long to deliver the fragments, you get fewer fragments per limpet, so you need to carry a larger amount. I'm currently carrying 400 per default when I'm out mining, and I think that's okay. So you have a little bit of extra space from the 576 tons of cargo that I have. You have a little bit extra space just because normally I feel like you get a bit more than one ton of material for each limpet that you use. So to get a little bit of extra headroom there. But looks like the limpets are done with all the fragments. So let's get back into the ship. And here we get all the messages for all the stuff that's being refined. Oh, we still have one incoming. Can I see it on the radar? Oh, getting a bit close to that one. There we go. So all in all, I think the Cutter is a very, very decent mining ship, and especially if you like longer mining trips, or if you're mining in a system where you have a long way to the station, because you can stay out here for hours without having to go to a station to empty your cargo hold and restock on new limpets. So I'm very happy. This is definitely a ship that I'm going to be using for mining in the future. I really hope you enjoyed it. Very short video. There is going to be a more detailed mining osmium. More detailed mining guide later on, so subscribe to the channel if you want that. There's going to be an annotation on the screen here. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I will see you in space.